Okay, everybody, welcome back again. We haven't moved, we're still in the Midland Hotel for the first actually press conference for our show on June the 29th in Bolton. Rock and Roll exclusively live on Sky Sports in stunning high definition. We're joined here today with a rather large top table. I'm just going to take my time to introduce everybody, talk a little bit about the fights and the fighters we've got here, and then pass it over to them to say a few words. Down on the left there, gentleman who we're very pleased to get back quickly after his great performance against Ho Chi Minh Singh at the Winter Gardens in Blackpool, the WBO Intercontinental Champion, Brian Rose. To his right, a guy who we've dealt with for a number of years now, delighted to see him get another crack at the British title, Liverpool's Tony Dodson. To his right, in my opinion, one of the top trainers in the game right now. Obviously, got a big fight ahead of him and had a big fight when we were out in Atlantic City recently against Adrian Broner, Gary Lockett. To his right, the gentleman who has obviously been on a great journey, former light welterweight champion of the world, challenged Adrian Broner recently live on HBO, Gavin Rees. To my right, his opponent for the WBO Intercontinental lightweight title, someone who we've seen on Sky Sports a number of times recently in some great fights. Obviously the first fight against Derry, the second fight against Derry, and now he's got a real big opportunity against Anthony CROLLA, Gavin Rees, Anthony CROLLA. To his right, obviously just been introduced, delighted, our new signing Scott Quigg, WBA interim world champion, who will be featuring in a 10-round contest on the Sky on the June 29th. To his right, one of our young starlets, GB Olympic captain Tom Stalker, will also be featuring on Bolton on the 29th. It'll be his 5th professional contest. To his right, another Liverpudlian who's taking on Tony Dodson for the British super middleweight title. Delighted for the first time boxing on one of our shows actually, Paul Smith. To his right, trainer for Scott Quigg, Anthony CROLLA and Paul Smith, who's got a very busy night on the 29th. Joe Gallagher. And to his right, delighted to welcome Francis Warren, Paul Smith's promoter. So we're going to start down this end. Brian's going to be involved in a 10-round contest against Sergei Rybchev. Last seen here when he beat Matthew Hall, I believe. Again, getting him out in a 10-round contest after the successful victory against Alcine. Brian, a few words.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the 29th. I got some good news. I was supposed to be fighting Anthony Monday in Australia, and I was a little bit disappointed when it fell through, but I've took the positives from that because it just shows how far I've come since winning the British title to be even named in that mix. I mean, apparently he's took a fight with Shane Mosley, which just shows how far I've come. So I've took the positives, and I'm looking forward to the 29th of June against a tough, durable opponent who's never been stopped. You know, like Eddie said, he's beat Matthew Hall. So he's a seasoned pro, and he's a good fighter, but on paper probably not one of the toughest fights I've had in the last year, because I've had some real tough fights, but one that I've not looked past because I'll never do that again. You know, I've done everything I've had to do in the gym. I've trained really hard, so I'm looking for a good, clean, crisp performance on the 29th of June.
Thanks, Brian. Yeah, Brian talks about that fight. Just for those for information on that, we were in talks for the WBA interim title against Mundine. It was very close. Didn't happen, and again we had a call from HBO for him to fight Willie Nelson as well on the Macklin undercard. So already things are starting to move in the right direction. The key is to get him out as often as possible, and the big fights are going to come. Tony, talk to us about this fight. Big fight for you. I love this fight. I can sit back and enjoy it.
It's a local derby. We don't get no better than this. I mean, there's not really much that I want to say, you know, other than it's going to be a fantastic fight, a fantastic opportunity for me to get revenge. No bad blood, nothing bad's going to get said. I'm going to leave everything to be done in the ring, which is the way it should have been in the first fight, but unfortunately it weren't. Wish him the best of luck, may the best man win. I can guarantee you that it's a superb fight, and you're going to see a different Tony Dodson.
And Paul, big fight for you, obviously you've done it before.
Yeah, it is. It's a good chance, a good opportunity for me. don't get many second chances out in a business cycle. This is my third, and I've won it. I need to win outright, and that's the plan, that's the ambition, and that's what I want to do. But it starts with this fight, but it's a fight that I know I can win. It's a fight that I know I've done everything right in the gym. I've done everything right preparing. I'm everything right mentally. And everything that I'm going to do on the night will be better than what Tony's going to bring, and get the belt back.
Stuff on. Certainly a fight we're looking forward to. And the captain, Tom, back at your fifth fight quite quickly after your first round stoppage at the weekend.
Yeah,
non-stop action.
Yeah, I'm just happy that I'm getting the opportunities off you there, and I'll be 5-0 hopefully the 29th of June, and then progressing at the end of the year, hopefully being like Central Area title or even this title. That's what I'm looking for.
How are you finding the transition, obviously? I mean, it's the first couple of fights were a little bit crazy, weren't they? In front of 7,000 scousers in the Echo Arena. I think you were told about 2 minutes before, look, there's an opportunity for you to fight now. You were afloat, obviously.
Yeah, I can't be honest, I don't think I've adapted. Like some people adapt straight away. I think it's took me a bit of time to adapt, but I feel like I'm finding my feet now, and I think it just takes time, and I believe I'm going to become a champion. Of what sort, I don't know of yet, but I'm just going to keep working hard in the gym, and what I want to become a champion.
Good man. And before we, Scott, obviously we've spoken to already, to talk about the main event. Start with you, Joe. Busy night, trying to run Sky's schedule around your fighters. How do you see it all going? Obviously, you're going to be busy.
Yeah, listen, it's a trainer's dream, there's no point moaning about it. I feel, listen, the show's in Bolton, we're based in Bolton, training at the Dodds Community Centre there, and you feel, I was talking to John Rice before, you feel like it's your own home show. I know my fighters, a few are in the home corner, one's in the away corner, but like I say, it's got to be a busy night, got to be work cut out, but I think the winners here are the viewers at home that night. We've got 3 great fights, like I say, CROLLA GAVIN REES, that's a world title eliminator. We're fighting the number 6 in the world, ranked by the Boxing News and the Ring magazine. We're under no illusions what a good fighter GAVIN REES is. You understand, he's only lost to 2 world champions, he's a good fighter. He's got to come back from his loss to Broner to show everyone that he's not finished, and I know he's not finished, and CROLLA knows he's not finished, but it's an opportunity, and we're prize fighters, and the prize is worth the risk, and the reward is worth the risk. Taking on GAVIN REES after his fight with Derry Matthews, and I think it's got to be a great fight. Paul Smith, his fight with Tony Dodson, I've called that Rocky 7. The 2 of them, they've been around that long. I want to know who's caught the chicken yet. Tony said he hasn't, I know Paul hasn't yet, but that's a great fight as well. Both have nowhere to go after this, the loser. I think the stature in the game and the length that they've been in it, it'd be a shame for them having to start back again 4, 6, 8 round level, and I think both of them got to leave it in the ring on the night. And then obviously Scott Quigg, well, it's Christmas time for Scott Quigg, isn't it? I feel sorry for the opponent, all hell's got to be let loose when Scott Quigg gets in the ring that night, so thanks for putting all lads on the card, and cheers for the paydays.
So just to let you know, when you pack in the training, you can come work for Matchroom as a promoter. Enjoyed that. Anthony, big fight for you, obviously. We saw you in a great fight with Derry at the Echo Arena, and now, you know, like you say, virtually a world title eliminator here against Gavin.
Yeah, don't get much bigger than this for me. I'm fighting a world-class fighter. I've got nothing but respect for Gav, and I know on the 29th of June that I'm going to have to be at my very best to beat Gav, and the good chance I'll have to go through hell and back to win, but that's what I'm prepared to do. If I've got to do, I feel like I'm prepared the best I possibly can. And like we said last time out, in the fight last time out, the fans will be the winners, and Gav's very rarely in a bad fight, and I believe I'm the same, so it's one of them. I think the fans are going to be the winners again on the 29th, and it's just great to be boxing on a card. Not to start with 2 of my very good friends in Paul Smith, Scott Quigg, who I'm training alongside daily. Obviously Paul and Tony's going to be a great fight, and like I say, Tom, Brian, I've knew since the amateurs, so it's great to be boxing alongside them on such a great card, and headlining it alongside a great fighter in Gavin.
Thank you, Anthony. And Gary, obviously back from America. I know that Gavin's hungry, or definitely more hungry than I think we've ever seen him.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, it was a big setback for Gavin. I mean, I think we all know Adrian Broner, and nobody gave Gavin a can't-tell's chance, you know, when we went over there. But Gavin Rees is a world-class fighter. I don't think we realised at the time that Broner was an elite fighter, and I think that showed on the night. But you know, when we walked into the ring and the fans were baying for Gavin's blood, when he refused to be sort of, you know, he was knocked down a couple of times and he refused to stay down, and he showed defiance to me, and you know, the American, he you know, slowly but surely won the American fans over, and then when we got out of the ring, everyone was tapping him on the shoulder and saying how, you know, how well he did over it. I know that HBO have been on the ready to say that they'd love to have Gavin back on HBO. So I think that's proof in the pudding that, you know, they like Gavin and what a class fighter he is. I felt that I was going to have to pick him up tenfold after the fight, because he was gutted, really gutted the next morning. But surprise, surprise, he was back in the gym on Thursday. Weight hadn't really gone up that much. I think he'd had a couple of bevies, because he's not really don't like a few bevies. No, he'd gone out and had a couple of bevies. Back in the gym, he was sparring with the boys, because obviously you know, guys around his weight with fights coming up. And you know, we find ourselves now a few weeks later fighting Andy CROLLA, a fight that I've got a lot of respect for since I saw him, you know, stop John Watson and win the British title. You know, fighter that we know is going to be fit in 12 rounds, got a good jab, got good foot movement. Someone asked me a question earlier on, I think it was Ed, and he said, you know, is Ricky Burns in Gavin's mind? Well, he's certainly not in my mind, because we can't look past the 29th, as simple as that. This is a kid sat next to Eddie that we can't overlook. And even though, you know, we know Gavin's a world-class fighter, I think on the night Anthony's got to prove himself to be a world-class fighter to beat Gavin, and I'm sure he's in great shape, and I'm sure you're going to see a really good fight.
Thanks, Gary. And Gavin, probably a different kind of press conference to the last one we had.
No, but
looking forward to boxing back on home soil.
yeah, of course, Paul's a great fighter. You know, he's one of the top lightweights in Britain. I want to thank yourself for winning on such a great belt in front of Bolton. Never boxed up here before, more or less CROLLA's background. Just doesn't show up before anyway, fight anyone. Happy to be the top of the belt and just be a great fight on the night. Like I say, that the viewers will be the one benefiting most.